Hi, Cindy here. Today we're going to talk about my $5,000 house. I don't think you could get a $5,000 house right now in Kansas, but I have a $5,000 house. It all started when my parents decided to go into assisted living in Oregon. And I had a 1967 Bronco that my dad bought new. And I needed a place to store it. And after I looked at all these storage options, and I didn't like all these storage options because they were really expensive, I started looking on real estate sites for cheap houses. And the closest to Colorado, which is where I was living at the time, was in Kansas. And I found a $5,000 house. So I drove over there on my day off. I looked at it for a half an hour. I thought, what the heck? Looks like a good storage shed to me. And I didn't really plan on living in it for any length of time. I like moving around too much. But it was really nice to have a home base. And that's where I am now during the pandemic so that I can live alone. It's a long ways to drive to work. But if it wouldn't have been a long ways to drive to work, it wouldn't have been a $5,000 house in the first place. So, obviously there's things wrong with it. Probably not as much to my eye as there would be to normal people. Foundation is pretty much garbage. So underneath it, I have 15 house jacks. Pulled up all the carpet. Underneath I had hardwood floors. I put in other flooring in the kitchen. And it's fun because when you've got a $5,000 house, it's not like you're really worried about resale. It's not a flip house. It's a storage shed. And I fixed it up for 2 years. I shut off all the utilities and I went and I lived somewhere else for 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. But it's nice to have a place that you can just, I don't know that it's always there as long as you pay your property taxes. So I learned how to do some electrical. I learned how to do some water lines. I learned about the house jacks. I cut down some trees, smallish trees, because I paid somebody to cut down the big tree. And my friend helped me trim another big tree. But the big tree was overhanging some power lines over my garage, and I just didn't think it was a good idea to get out there with my little 18-inch electric chainsaw and cut it down. I've done a lot of painting on it. Oh boy, what else have I done? I took out the cabinets. I was scared to death they were going to fall on me. I was more scared that they were going to fall on my water line and break my water line, because that just really would have been annoying. I pretty much rebuilt under the bathroom because the bathroom was made from a porch, and it didn't really have any support. So I went down there, I put a whole bunch of house jacks, and I put beams and stuff like that. And it's not top quality construction. None of the house is really top quality construction. If you look on the appraiser site, they'll tell you that. But, it's not the worst house that you could live in for $5,000. And if you're going to run out and do this yourself, well, you probably couldn't right now. Unless you wanted to live in Detroit. Detroit has plenty of $5,000 houses. I'd rather live here. You need to have some kind of tool background. That would be good, because your learning curve is going to be really steep if you don't have some kind of tool background. You need to have the money to go out and buy the tools. You need to have the money to go out and buy the flooring and all the other stuff, like the house jacks. But it's real gratifying. When it's done, it looks really pretty. And I understand that people consider this a shack. I get it. But it's my shack, and I really like it. And I'd take you on a camera tour through it, but we're just going to do pictures because if I walked you through it, I'd have to clean it. And I don't want to do that. I just want to move things and take pretty pictures of it and post them in a movie. Okay, that's my $5,000 house. And and I couldn't resist. I put part of that on a credit card, just so I could say that I put part of my house on a credit card.